Hello everyone and welcome to Brain Blitz Audios. Today, in this particular episode of CAT Curriculum, we'll be looking at some previous year questions from the Common Admissions Test. Today we'll be looking at questions from the section of Quantitative Aptitude. So let's look at our questions for the day. Question 1. 30%. Ravi invests 50% of his monthly savings in fixed deposits. 30% of the rest of his savings is invested in stocks, and the rest goes into Ravi's savings bank account. If the total amount deposited by him in the bank for savings account and fixed deposits is 59,500, then Ravi's total monthly savings in rupees is. So how do we solve this question? Well, we know that Ravi has some amount of money that he gets monthly as a savings. All right, so we're going to let Ravi's monthly savings be 100s. Now, since the question is dealing with percentages, it will be easier for us to calculate that if we use 100s, 100 of something. And we use the letter S just to, let us know that we're talking about a savings. All right, so Ravi's monthly savings is 100s rupees. Now, we know that 50% are in fixed deposits. Now, that means the number of fixed deposits, like the total amount of fixed deposits that he does every month is 50s. That's 50% of 100s, which is 50s. Now this means 50s of his money is left over after him, putting it in fixed deposits. Now, from this 50% leftover, 30% is in stocks, and the rest of it is in savings bank account. All right, now the 30% that we're talking about here is from the 50s. So 30% is invested in stocks. Is equal to 30 divided by 100 times the leftover money, which is 50s. So, 50 goes into 100 twice, and 30 over 2 gives you 15, and then you can multiply the s to it. So 15s is the amount of money that he has invested in stocks. Now the rest goes into savings account. That means 50s minus 15s equals to 35s goes into his savings account. So his money, which is 100s, is divided into 50s for fixed deposits, 15s for investing in stocks, and 35s for his savings account. Now, according to the question, the total amount deposited by him in the bank for savings account and fixed deposits is 59,500. We need to find his total monthly savings. So what it says is 50s plus 35s will be equal to 59,500. Now, 50 plus 35 gives you 85. So 85s is equal to 59,500. So finding s is basically 59,500 over 85. Let's do 595 over 85. So if you calculate it, let's Now 8 times 7 gives you 56, so we can try 85 times 7. 5 times 7 is 35, 8 sevens are 56, plus 3 is 595. So 85 times 8 gives you 595. So, 85 times 7, my error. So 85 times 7 gives you 595. Therefore, 59,500 over 85 would give you the value of S as 700. All right. Now we need to find out his total monthly savings. Total monthly savings. Now we know that value is equal to 100S because we deemed it so. So it is equal to 100S, which is 100 times 700, which is equal to 70,000. So rupees 70,000 is the total savings that Ravi has in rupees. So he invests 50% of that, which is 35,000, into his fixed deposits. He invests, that's 5, 10, and 9.5, and then it's 14.5, 24,500 into his savings account, and the rest of it, that is 15S, 15 times 700 goes into stocks. So 70,000 rupees is what Ravi saves every month. Now, let's look at another question. Now, sometimes questions in QA don't have options, but other times they do. If a seller gives a discount of 15% on retail price, she still makes a profit of 2%. We need to find out which of the following ensures that she makes a profit of 20%. So how do we solve this question? Well, we'll have to assume certain things. All right. Now, when you're talking about buying and selling, there's always a cost price and a marked price, which is what the trader intends to sell on, and then depending on discounts or not, you get selling price, which is after the discount, if there is any. So let's consider the cost price of whatever the product is to be 100C. Again, the reason why 100 is we're using percentages here. We'll also consider the marked price to be 100M. So yeah, they're both different. So the retailers do upsell their products in order to make a profit out of it. So the cost price is 100C, the market price is 100M. Now, in the question, the discount is 15%. Okay? Now, since the discount is 15%, the final selling price that the seller sells it for, so she will now sell it for 100M, and since it's giving a discount of 15%, she will reduce 15M from it. So the final amount that she sells it for is 85M. Okay? We also know that in this question, for the first sale, the profit that she gets after giving the customer the discount is 2%. Now, what does that mean? It means the selling price can also be represented as, we made a bit of a mistake here in case you noticed. Since we're giving a discount on the cost price, actually, no, we kind of got mixed up. So when we're talking about a discount on the retail price, we are giving a discount on the price that is marked. So it'll be 100M minus 15M, which is equal to 85M. However, if the seller, after giving a discount, still makes a profit of 2%, then that profit, so this is on the marked price, while the profit of 2% is on the cost price. Now the cost price is 100C, and she makes 2% profit, so that'll be 2C. So the selling price will also be equal to 102C. So from both equations, we now know that 85M gives you 102C. So 85M is the same as 102C. So from this particular relation, now let's try 102. Let's prime factorize 102. Take 2 out, it's 51. Take 3 out, it's 17. 17 is a prime number by itself. So we see that 17 is the highest prime factor. Let's try and divide 85 with 17. So 17 times 5. 5 plus 3 gives you 8. So 85. So basically, both 85 and 102 are divisible by 17. So it'll be 5M on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, it'll be 6C. So now we got the relation 5M equals 6C. So 5 times the marking price, that is 5% of the marked price equals 6% of the cost price. What we're going to do is we're going to consider 30K be equal to 5M and 6C. All right, so we're going to consider K to be a non-zero constant. Okay, just so you know that 30 times 0 equals 0 doesn't make it incorrect or unequal, so we're going to make K non-zero. So we know that 30K equals 5M. That means M equals 6K. We also know that 30K equals 6C, so therefore C equals 5K. All right, and you might be wondering, why did we take 30? Because 30 is the lowest common multiple of 5 and 6, so we take the LCM of 5 and 6 to get 30, and we put in a constant K in order to make our calculations easier. Now let's look at the new profit, or the profit that we want her to make. We need to make sure that she makes the seller, she makes a profit of 20%. So the required profit of the seller's sale is 20%. Now that means 20 times, that means 20 by 100 times the cost price, which is 100C. Okay. Now, we know that the cost price C equals 5K. That means 100C equals 500K. Similarly, 100M equals 600K. Just spelling these out so that you don't miss it. So 20% of cost price is the required profit. So 20 by 100 times 100C. We can rewrite that as 20 by 100 times 500K. So we can cut the zeros out. 20 times 5 is 100. So 100K is the required profit. Now, since the selling price, or SP, is cost price plus profit, the cost price is 500K. We're going to use that relation here. 100C equals 500K, and the profit will be 100K. So 500K plus 100K is 600K. But if you look at it, 600K is also the same as 100M. Now we know that 100M is the original marked retail price. So in order for the seller to make a profit of 20%, what she needs to do is to sell at retail price. Now, so that ensures that she makes the profit of 20%. The other options, like giving a 5% or 2% discount, will give you a profit, but it won't be equal to 20%. And increasing the retail price by 2% also doesn't reach 20% profit. So option D, sell at the same retail price without giving any discount, is the right option. Now let's look at another question. A man travels by a motorboat down a river to his office and back. So he goes downstream and upstream. Now, the speed of the river is considered to be unchanged. However, he doubles the speed of his motorboat. Now, when that happens, his total travel time gets reduced by 75%, which means 1/4 of the travel time. We need to find the ratio of the original speed of the motorboat to the speed of the river. Okay, so how do we solve this question? Now we're going to consider a lot of things. Now let the total distance traveled, which is both upstream and downstream, equals A. We will consider the speed of the river as R. The original, actually, you know what? Let's make it speed of boat. The speed of the boat as M, the motorboat, and the travel time to be T. So we know that the boat goes downstream and upstream. So when it goes downstream, the speed will be M plus R because we are going in the direction of the flow of the river. When we're going upstream, we're going opposite the direction of the flow of the river, so that will be M minus R. So that's downstream and upstream speed. Now the time taken usually will be A over downstream plus A over upstream. So A over downstream speed plus A over upstream speed, which is, now let's consider that to be D for downstream and U for upstream. So A is common on both fractions, so we take that common, and what we get is 1 by D, which is 1 by M plus R, plus 1 by M minus R, which is 1 by upstream. Now, we're going to consider this to be 4T, okay? So the T that we have is the reduced travel time. The reason why is that we know that the total travel time gets reduced by 75%, so therefore the travel time that he does when the speed of the boat is doubled will be 1/4 of that time. So the usual time taken can be written as 4 times the reduced time. Now we'll consider this to be equation 1. Now the time taken when 2m speed is applied will be A by D plus A by U, which is equal to A is common again. So since the speed of the motorboat is now 2m, it'll be 2m plus R plus 1 over 2m minus R, which is equal to T. We'll consider this to be equation 2. Now from equation 1 and 2, since we know that 4T gives you the original time taken and T gives you the new time taken, so we will get A times 1 by M plus R. Let's remove that bracket because we put that together in the earlier equation. So A times 1 by M plus R plus 1 by M minus R, which is the original time, equals 4A times 1 by 2M plus R plus 1 by 2M minus R. So we can cut the A, and all we have left is 4. Now here, what we can do is we can use A plus B times A minus B. So A squared minus B squared equals A plus B times A minus B to get LCM. So A plus B times A minus B gives you A squared minus B squared, which we can use as the common factor, the common multiple. So what we get here is m squared minus r squared in the denominator. In the numerator, it'll be m minus r plus m plus r. And on the right-hand side, we get 4 times. The denominator here will be 4m squared minus r squared, because 2m the whole square gives you 4m squared. And we get 2m minus r plus 2m plus r. So therefore, the equation now becomes 2m over m squared minus r squared equals 2 plus 2 gives you 4. So 4 times 4m is 16m over 4m squared minus r squared. So 2 gets 2 divide 16 8 times. M gets cancelled. So now the equation can be cross multiplied to form 8m squared minus 8r squared equals 4m squared minus r squared. So when we rearrange the terms, what we get is 8m squared minus 4m squared equals 8r squared minus r squared. So therefore, we're just going to rewrite that here so we can solve the rest of it. 8m squared minus 4m squared equals 8r squared minus r squared. So therefore, 8 minus 4 is 4, so 4m squared equals 8 minus 1, 7r squared. Now that means m squared over r squared gives you 7 over 4, transferring the terms to the right-hand sides. Now 7 over 4 is also the same as under root of 7 over 2, the whole squared. And the reason why we do that is because we're going to take the square root on both sides. So on the left side, it's m over r, and on the right side, it is root of 7 over 2. So the ratio of the original speed of the motorboat, which is m, to the speed of the river, which is r, is root 7 over 2. So 2 times the speed of the motorboat is equal to root 7 times the speed of the river. So option B, root 7 is to 2, is the right answer. And the way we did that is by using time taken for both cases and using the correct signage in order to get us the answer, root 7 over 2. Now let's look at the final question for the day. Suppose C1, C2, C3, C4, and C5 are 5 companies. The profits made by C1, C2, and C3 are in the ratio 9:10:8, while the profits made by C2, C4, and C5 are in the ratio 18:19:20. We also know that C5 has made a profit of 19 crore rupees more than C1. We need to find the total profit made by all the 5 companies. Is it 438, 435, 348, or 345? So, how do we solve this question? We're going to consider the profits of the 5 companies B. For C1, it is P of C1. For C2, it's P of C2. For C3, it'll be P of C3. For C4, it'll be P of C4. And for C5, it'll be P of C5. Okay? We're going to let these term representations be the profits of these 5 companies. Now, according to the question, what is given to us is P of C1 is to P of C2 is to P of C3 equals 9:10:8. It's not equal to, it's proportionate. So P of C1 is to P of C2 is to P of C3 is proportional to 9:10:8. Now, what does that mean? It means that we can write P of C1 as equal to 9 times x. We're using a ratio, so we can take a constant in order to remove the ratio to an equal sign. So P of C1 equals 9x, P of C2 equals 10x, and P of C3 equals 8x. Similarly, P of C2 is to P of C4 is to P of C5 is proportional to 18 is to 19 is to 20. So from here we can say P of C2 equals 18 times another constant, which we can put it as y. P of C4 is 19y, and P of C5 is 20y. Now, from both proportions, we can see that the value of P of C2 is expressed in two different terms. So P of C2 is given as 10x and 18y. So therefore, 10x will be equal to 18y. Now, we also know that C5 has made a profit of 19 crores more than C1. Okay, so that's P of C5 minus P of C1 equals 19 crores. Now we're going to also consider K equals 1 crore. So we can represent it as 19 times K. Now K here is a non-zero constant that we know. We're not going to treat it as a variable. So P of C5 is 20y, and P of C1 is 9x equals to 19k. So we're going to rethink the earlier equality we got as, we're going to rewrite it as 18y minus 10x equals to 0 times k, 0 crore. So we're going to consider this to be equation 1. We're going to consider this to be equation 2. So from here, we're going to solve for 1 and 2. Now, we know that we have 20y minus 9x equals 19k, and 18y, let's rewrite that 8. So 18 18y plus minus 10x gives you 0 times k, of course. 0 times anything will still give you 0. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the, we're going to try and remove one of the variables. Let's do x. So 9 times 10, the LCM would be 90. So so we will be multiplying 10 to equation 2 and 9 to equation 1. So what we get is 200y minus 90x gives you 190k. And on the right-hand side, it's 18 times 9. When you do that, it is 162. 162y minus 90x equals 0k, because 0 times anything would still be 0. So minus plus minus. So 200 minus 162 gives you 38y. The x terms cancel each other out, and the right-hand side would still be 190k. So this means y equals 190 over 38. Now, if you've known 19 times 2 is 38, we can simplify that. So what we get is 10 over 2k, which is equal to 5k. So the value of y is 5 crores. Okay. So let's put that in terms of x. So 20 times 5 minus 9x gives you 19k. So therefore, 20 times 5k, by the way. So 100k minus 9x equals 19k. So 9x equals 100 minus 19, which is equal to 81. So 100 minus 19 times k, which is equal to 81k. So x is 81k over 9, which is equal to 9k. We know that x equals 9k, 9 crores, and y equals 5 crores. We need to find the total profit of all these companies. So in order to find the total profit, we're going to use these values that we found, and we add them together. So what we get is, so total profit is sum of individual profits. So P of C1, we can write that as 9x. P of C2 is 10x. P of C3 is 8, not 18. So let's consider that to be 8x, just erasing them so that you can see them clearly. That's 8x. Now for the y terms, we can, for 4 and 5, we know that they're in y terms, so we can use the y terms there. So that will be 19y plus 20y. So we can take x and y common. So x times 9 plus 10 plus 8 plus y times 19 plus 20. So 9 plus 10 is 19, plus 8 gives you 27. And the y term would be 39y. So 27 times 9 gives you 7 nines are 63. 2 nines are 18, plus 6 is 24. Similarly, 39 times 5, that is equal to 40. 9 times 5 is 45. 15 plus 4 is 19, so that's 195. So 200, so that's 243, not 343. So 243 plus 195, let's add them together. 3 plus 5 is 8. 4 plus 9 is 13. 1 plus 1 plus 2 gives you 4. So the total profit is equal to 438 crores. So yeah, all of this gets multiplied by k. So again, just taking k common, so that you can solve the rest of it together. And since we know that k equals 1 crore, we can just substitute k as crore. So 438 crores is the total profit of the 5 companies, when the 5 companies' profits are in this particular ratio, and C5 has made 19 crores more than C1. So option A, 438 crores, turns out to be the right option. Now that concludes this particular episode of CAT Curriculum. We hope you find these questions on QA interesting and informative. For more of our useful and interesting content, don't forget to subscribe to Brain Blitz Audios. You can also hit the bell icon present below the video in order to get the latest updates from our channel, from CAT Curriculum or other content. So until the next webisode, take care, stay safe, ta-ta for now.